trichologist, author, owner of St. Clair's Hair, and in today's video, I want to go into why rosemary is so effective for hair growth and why so many people see results when they use the St. Clair spray. I like when things are backed with science, and you hear many claims about many products that supposedly help with hair growth, but with no hard evidence. In today's video, I'm going to give you hard evidence for why rosemary is so effective when it comes to growing the hair. So the first thing I'm going to go into is stimulation of the scalp. Why is this so important? Why does everybody tell you that you need to stimulate your scalp so that your hair can grow? Well, we need to understand the basics so that we know why we're doing what we're doing and which products will work for us. So directly underneath the hair follicle, you have something called the dermal papilla. That is a network of blood vessels that provides nutrients, oxygen, and glucose to the hair follicle, which helps the hair to... So at St. Clair's Hair, our mission is phenomenal hair, phenomenal you. So if you're looking for amazing hair extensions that can last up to 7 years, doesn't shed, doesn't tangle, holds curls, bleaches to pure blonde, is single donor source, has one-way cuticle formation. Basically, if you're looking for phenomenal hair extensions and undetectable HD lace closures and frontals, then visit St. Clair's Hair. Grow. So when the scalp is stimulated, it provides the follicle with an abundance of all of the things it needs for cell reproduction and healthy hair growth. So how exactly does rosemary stimulate blood circulation when applied to the scalp? And this is where the beauty of science comes in. Studies into the physiological effects of rosemary oil have shown that when rosemary oil was applied to the muscle receptors of an animal, it caused the muscle to contract. The conclusion of this study was that rosemary oil improves local blood circulation when applied. Now, this lends some explanation as to why so many people see amazing results when they use rosemary and apply it to the scalp. But how can we be certain that rosemary penetrates the layers of the scalp enough to cause stimulation? And again, this is where we look into the evidence. Science shows that the molecules in essential oils are tiny, so tiny that they are able to penetrate through the layers of the skin. And this absorption takes place through what is known as follicular absorption. And this is where an opening that exists within the skin provides access between the upper layers and the deeper layers of the skin, which our hair follicles provide, and make it safe to say that when we do apply rosemary oil to the scalp, that it has the ability to penetrate the layers of the skin, thus supporting the stimulation theory. But let's not stop there, because I've done even more research which lends to this theory. A study carried out on babies required the parents to apply oil to the baby's skin 4 times a day for 5 days. So one group of babies had safflower oil, which is an unsaturated fat, applied to their skin, whilst another group of babies had coconut oil, which is a saturated fat, applied to their skin. Now, the babies who had safflower oil, the unsaturated fat, applied to their skin, their blood sample results showed that they had a higher concentration of unsaturated fat in the blood, whilst the babies who had coconut oil, the saturated fat, applied to their skin, their blood samples showed there was a higher concentration of saturated fats found in their bloodstream. Now, whilst the baby's skin is quite thin, this study is an eye-opener that you should be extremely mindful of the things that you are applying to your body, because they may have the capability to penetrate the layers of the skin and enter the bloodstream. But these studies I've discussed so far provide evidence as to why rosemary is so effective concerning hair growth. Now we're going to move on to case studies where rosemary has been used specifically to target hair loss. So a case study into the effects of rosemary oil versus minoxidil, which is a drug used for hair loss, showed extremely promising effects. So once again, this case study was based on 2 groups of people. Women are suffering from hair loss in silence. Some are too embarrassed to seek help, some don't know where to go to seek help. My name's Dami St. Clair, trichologist, owner of St. Clair's Hair, and author. And I invite you to take a free online hair and scalp consultation so you can find out whether our products are right for you or if you need to speak to a trichologist. The sooner you confront hair loss, the better chance you have of beating it. So don't ignore it, don't wish it away. Visit stclairshair.com and take our free online hair and scalp consultation, and I'll be speaking with you soon. Suffering from hair loss due to the hormone known as DHT. The type of hair loss caused by this hormone is usually male pattern hair loss or female pattern hair loss. And what happens is DHT is a hormone which binds to the hormone receptors that are attached to our hair follicles. So when this hormone latches onto the hormone receptors, it affects affects the life cycle of the hair, and over time it causes the hair to become thinner, and it reduces the number of hairs that grow from one hair follicle, eventually leading to thinning and in some cases complete baldness. Now, what the study showed is that after 6 months, both groups saw a significant amount of hair growth, and the group that used rosemary oil saw slightly better results. The conclusion of the study was that somehow rosemary oil stops the binding of DHT to the hormone receptors, preventing hair loss. At the moment, I currently have a few people trying out the St. Clair's hair spray specifically for male pattern hair loss. So many people have seen results after using the St. Clair's hair spray after just 1 to 2 weeks, and that's been for alopecia due to giving birth, so postpartum hair loss, or traction alopecia, hair loss due to stress. And just in case you're unfamiliar with the term, alopecia is a term that is used for hair loss, period. And so therefore there are different types of alopecia. So postpartum hair loss is alopecia that's experienced roughly 3 months after a woman has just given birth. You have traction alopecia, which is caused by wearing tight hairstyles, such as braids, cornrows, tight wigs. You also have frictional alopecia, where the hair is being rubbed against and therefore it causes breakage. People have seen amazing results in all of these different situations using the St. Clair's hair spray. And I'm so excited to see the results for those using it specifically for male and female pattern hair loss. However, if you're experiencing hair loss due to any of the other reasons I mentioned, I invite you to try the St. Clair's hair spray. And when you do, make sure you take your before and after pictures and send them in, because you receive a very special gift when you do so. So another study into the effects of rosemary oil and hair loss was one done on patients that had alopecia areata. So alopecia areata is a form of hair loss where patches, smooth bald patches, begin to appear on the scalp. It can happen overnight and it can literally come out of nowhere. It's an autoimmune disease and there's no specific cure for it, but it does seem to rectify itself after 12 months. However, a study was carried out, again with 2 groups, one group who used rosemary oil on their scalp, one group who didn't use anything, and studies showed that 44% of the people in the group who used rosemary oil saw hair growth after an average of 7 months. 44% of the people. Whilst in the group that used no rosemary oil whatsoever, only 15% of people saw hair growth after 7 months. And it was also found that the group who didn't use rosemary oil, they experienced higher levels of itching. So again, this just is a testament to the amazing benefits that rosemary oil has, and rosemary oil is the main ingredient in the St. Clair's hair spray. And you'll see when you receive your spray that we finely milled rosemary herb, so it's there visible in the product, as well as the rosemary oil, which we have uniquely extracted so that it's highly potent in all of our products. So the last case I'm going to make for rosemary oil today is that it is an effective antimicrobial. This means it has the properties to kill bacteria and fungi, and this is important for providing a healthy environment for your scalp so that it can aid healthy hair growth. Again, I have a study to back this up, and what the study found is that rosemary oil had the ability to control and to reduce the production of inflammatory cells. Now, rosemary has a whole host of other benefits, and if you'd like me to do a part 2, then just say so in the comments below. In the meantime, you can visit stclairshair.com to take your free hair and scalp consultation, follow at St. Clair's on Instagram, and stay phenomenal. And share this video, especially if you found the information that I gave insightful.